Now, the general weather around Alaska.
Welcome to this edition of Alaska Weather. I'm meteorologist Peter Chan, coming to you from the National Weather Service in Alaska region on this Sunday, October 26, 2025. And in the weather-related headlines across the state of Alaska, not much has changed in the outlook that I've been providing all weekend long. The storm track energy and moisture is going to generally be lifting out of the North Pacific from a few different areas and then up into the Gulf. And this is going to bring periods. There's going to be at least a few different rounds of strong winds and heavier precipitation along the Gulf Coast and especially into the Panhandle as we get into Tuesday and beyond that time frame. As a result of these lows and systems in the Gulf, that's going to keep a cooler, drier northeast and northerly flow across the northern, central, western mainland. So that's going to allow temperatures to continue to turn colder, seasonably colder. We already have snow on the ground in areas of the interior, so that will likely be set there now as we head into the winter season. And there is a weak coronal mass ejection from the sun that's scheduled to arrive maybe some point this Sunday night or on Monday. So there is the possibility of a minor geomagnetic storm that could enhance some of the high latitude aurora as we get into tonight or early tomorrow morning, if you do have clear skies in your location. And coming up this week, first quarter moon is on Wednesday. So up in Bettles, mostly cloudy, 21, but look at the snow cover there. It looks like early winter, and that snow is going to be sticking around for some time to come. Bethel also getting in on some light snow fog, low cloudiness. It's hampered air operations in support of the typhoon recovery. 31 degrees there, and this low cloudiness of fog has kind of been in areas of the southwest coast and interior. Areas along the immediate coast like Hooper Bay down through Tooksuk Bay there have seen some sunshine today, so at least that's good news for the communities trying to recover there and at least get things set up as best as they can before the winter freeze-up really sets in. Now, looking in the southern panhandle, Heidelberg, mostly sunny, 43. Prince of Wales Island, as well as Ketchikan, Metlakatla, under high wind watch for Tuesday afternoon through early Wednesday morning. There is going to be a potent low impact that area with high winds and heavier rain. We'll highlight that in a moment. And if that's not enough, a second system is going to come out of the North Pacific into the western Gulf this time and bring some strong winds and heavier rain up along the northern Gulf Coast, up into that area between Hinchet Brook Entrance and Kayak Island, Cordova, partly sunny, 42. But you will likely be getting in on some stormy weather here Wednesday night into Thursday morning. You could see storm force winds with maybe even some gusts approaching hurricane force in some of the higher terrain there along the Gulf Coast. So this is a very active weather pattern coming up. So for right now, we have this high wind watch for the southern panhandle that includes Craig, Plawak, Ketchikan, Metlakatla, Hyder. These places here could see high winds gust as high as 60, maybe even 70 miles an hour in some of the higher terrain in these areas of the southern panhandle, along with at least 1 to 3 inches of rain. So there could also be that potential for landslides when you get that combination of heavier rainfall and strong winds. Maybe more so as we get further along in this pattern, because we're going to have soaking rains at times coming in all the way into early November. So this is just the first system coming in for Tuesday into Wednesday. Then this whole area of the Panhandle, special weather statement for a series of impactful windy and very wet weather systems for the rest of the week, and it could continue beyond there. The rest of the state, though, for right now at least, there are no watches, warnings, or advisories. So again, this area, southern panhandle, is going to get in on the high winds come Tuesday afternoon into early Wednesday. And the rest of the panhandle is also going to see, so one low is coming up like this, another one's going to come up here in the western Gulf, and that's going to have a frontal system that brings high winds and heavy precipitation all along the Gulf Coast and back up into the panhandle as we go into Wednesday, later in the day there, evening into Thursday. And if that's not enough, it looks like there may be yet another system later Thursday into Friday. So very, very active stormy pattern along the Gulf Coast into the Panhandle. Now, this Sunday mid-afternoon, we still have a couple of weak low circulations in the Gulf with a few lingering scattered showers, nothing major. Out here to the west, we have a less organized but still an area of low pressure in northern Bering. This is going to slide southeastward, crossing the eastern Aleutians, lower part of the Alaska Peninsula later Monday into Tuesday. And so on the weather map, late this Sunday night into Monday morning, still this weak low in the western Gulf, some troughiness lingering off of the Panhandle coast into the eastern Gulf. Here's that low that continues to sink and wobble southeastward across the Bering Sea. This trough is the one that kind of brought some low cloudiness and areas of light snow and fog to parts of the southwest coast and interior, including areas around Bethel today. We still have weak high pressure that extends from Siberia across the Brooks Range North Slope into northern Canada, and that feature will hold here. Again, temperatures are just going to slowly cool down across the mainland as we go through this upcoming week into early November. By Monday afternoon, still this weak little low just sitting in the Gulf, and this little impulse is beginning to translate out of the Bering and North Pacific coming up toward the Gulf. So this low, not especially strong, but it'll continue to weaken, head southeastward. It's this low down here. This is a compact low that's going to come northward. This is going to bring high winds and heavier precipitation to the central southern panhandle Tuesday into Wednesday. By Tuesday, we expect low down around 962 millibars as it comes up just southwest of Haida Gwaii. And that's going to pull this windy front up along the panhandle. So initially you're going to have easterly winds, and then as the front comes on through, those winds will try to go around more southeast and maybe even southerly in some areas. But definitely going to be stormier there for the day on Tuesday afternoon into early Wednesday. And if that's not enough, so we have this old energy still crossing the lower Alaska Peninsula Tuesday afternoon. But look at this. There's another low that's going to quickly come up out of the North Pacific, take whatever remaining energy that's crossing there out of the Alaska Peninsula, and it's going to produce another low down near 960 millibars. And as this comes north, this front wraps around to the north, that's going to produce the really strong winds here out there in the northern Gulf, especially between Hinchinbrook Entrance and Kayak Island. You can see storm force winds with perhaps even some gusts nearing hurricane force. So these are strong lows, and this pattern will continue. There'll be yet more energy coming up into this region to close out the week here through Halloween. So in the meantime, colder along the Brooks Range. We got low temperatures dipping down, potentially below zero. Anaktuvik, Atigun passes. Low single digits, lower teens along the Arctic coast. Most everybody in the mainland getting below freezing except for along the Gulf Coast. And again, outer portions of the Panhandle still up near 40 at Sitka. Monday afternoon, we find temperatures could still reach around 50 at Klawock and Craig. As we look back here to the west, readings staying below 40 at the Anchorage Bowl on up through Talkeetna. And temperatures generally below freezing along and north of the Alaska Range, with highs only in the single digits, above zero there, North Slope and along the Brooks Range. Lower 40s, Alaska Peninsula out toward Unalaska. And then Tuesday morning's lows, again up here North Slope, Brooks Range. Some temperatures will be dipping below zero, either the single digits above or below zero. And even down near zero, some areas along the Arctic coast, Utqiagvik on over toward Kaktovik. We have lows near 40, Sitka, and up there around Prince of Wales Island. And then back out here, notice it's getting colder slowly across the Yukon, upper Kuskokwim valleys. That's just the progression we're going to have as these low pressures wind up here in the Gulf, and you get this colder northeast to northerly flow across the central, northern, and western mainland. High temperatures Tuesday afternoon, staying below freezing north of the Alaska Range and out here to the southwest interior. May see temperatures back up around or a bit above 40 here. Seward, including Homer and Kodiak City at 45, still around 50. Craig, Klawock. So that's where the mildest air will be as we have these systems coming up into the Gulf. So the outlook now for early November, November 1st through the 5th, the 6 to 10 day outlook, Because of that, temperatures could average a little bit above normal, eastern mainland including along the Alcan border, near normal in the panhandle just because of the cloud cover and precipitation. But out here along the west, especially the Bering Strait, but down here through the YK Deltas, Bristol Bay, Alaska Peninsula, eastern Aleutians, we do expect temperatures to average below normal because you're going to have a colder northerly flow on the backside of the low pressure circulations that are going to be occurring here in the Gulf this upcoming week and into and through next weekend.